A very good evening to all of you. Today, I, CA Bhanudhir, a practicing chartered accountant, is pleased to welcome you all on a very relevant topic of today, that is unlocking the potential of RPA, ChatGPT, and AI tools for chartered accountants, organized by Digital Accounting and Assurance Board ICAI. The board is currently functioning under the chairmanship of CA Charan Jot Singh Nandaji, a distinguished personality who has always been an inspiration for all of us due to his continuous hard work, dedication, and kindness. He is a personality who leaves everyone mesmerized by his medical aura and words. He is continuously devoting his precious time for the betterment of the profession. Sir, my voice is being repeated. Excuse me, sir. Sir,
Madam,
my voice is getting repeated.
भानु जी आपका दो जगह पर है कि एक जगह पर है? Because one way you are speaking, if there are two systems, maybe on WhatsApp and maybe on laptop and on mobile, so you have to close
नहीं
one.
सर, मेरा सर एक ही जगह पे सर खुला हुआ है.
बस अब ठीक अपनी आवाज आ रही. Please continue.
Sir, please, sir, my voice is getting repeated. Please check it once.
They are asking to close. बताइए आयाज में क्या करना बताइए.
Yes. Sir, webcast link I haven't opened. No, sir, only one system. नहीं सर, अभी भी दो जगह रिपीट हो रही है. सर अब ठीक है. Now it's fine.
Okay, please continue, madam.
नहीं. Sir, shall I leave the meeting and join in again?
आयाज मियां बताइए.
Actually, we can hear very clearly.
Continue, Bhanu, continue.
He is the Central Council member of ICI and Chairman of Digital Accounting and Assurance Board, Committee on Financial Markets and Investors Protection, and SAFA. He is a Vice Chairman of Board of Internal Audit and Management Accounting ICI. He has also been the Chairman and Vice Chairman of various committees of ICI, along with member of Quality Review Board, SEBI, and so on. The list is just never ending. I hereby extend my warm welcome to this prestigious personality, CA Charan Jot Singh Nandaji, and would request him to share few key words with us.
Thanks, Sarat Bhanuji, the Honorable President of SAFA, past President ICN, like my elder brother, CA Nihar Jambusaria ji. The speakers of the day, Shri Kiran Kumar Tamana, Mr. Suyesh Chaudhary, CA Deepak Gupta, the moderator, CA Bhanudhir, and all who have come here to go home more enlightened. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another exciting session on technology under the aegis of Digital Accounting and Assurance Board and IT Committee of SAFA. You'll be very happy to know that this program is viewed not only in India, but at 7 other locations, other countries. One is Pakistan, second is Dhaka, Bangladesh, third is Nepal, fourth is Sri Lanka, even Maldives, Afghanistan, Bhutan, all across. And I want to very candidly submit that this program is a program which people wait to watch. People rush early from their homes to ensure that they are able to effectively look into it and are able to add value by understanding the entire thing. Ladies and gentlemen, today's webinar can be characterized by number of things. The name of the webinar is Unlocking the Potential of RPA, ChatGPT, GPT, and AI tools for chartered accountants. Yes, chartered accountants or professionals, because SAFA comprises not only of chartered accountants but of cost accountants as well. So this is a value add for professionals who want to render their services not only to their clients or regulators but to the government as well. So going ahead, the topic will have lot of discussions, and the three eminent speakers of the day, Shri C.A. Deepak Gupta, C.A. Kiran Kumar Tamna, C.A. U.S. Chaudhary, Suyash Chaudhary, and more importantly, the entire gamut of people who have joined to come home more enlightened to have this. I want to tell you that your institute, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, was set up an Act of Parliament way back on 1st July 1949. And since then, we have been working incessantly to add values to the initiatives of the government. And more importantly, create a benchmark on which not only chartered accountants but all professionals can dwell and give their best. One more thing I would like to disclose on this forum of SAFA. We have come out with a very exciting, glamorous program, Technology for Non-Technology Professionals. We are aware of the fact that all across, there are not all professionals who are technology savvy. Senior people like me may not understand technology or may not use technology in their daily course. And therefore, we have come out with a capsule program, Technology for Non-Technology Professionals, and we'll be launching it in November for all SAFA countries, where any professional from SAFA countries could join that program and be technology compliant. I want to tell you that the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, under the aegis of DAB, has come out with forensic standards which have been made mandatory from 1st July 2023. And along with that, we have an implementation guide covering all the forensic standards and helping the entire fraternity of professionals to add value to all the initiatives of their clients. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all aware that technology is the sunrise industry today. Technology gives us three very important benefits. Number one, in technology, you don't have to go to samples. You can take care of the entire database. Second, computer don't have wives. The work is finished on time. No festivals, no holidays. And third, very important, the work done by computers is always error-free. But you need to understand one thing very clearly, very candidly. In today's time, oil has no relevance, gold has no relevance, dollar has no relevance. The entire relevance is of data. But very importantly, the data which you have, how you analyze it, and what is the inference drawn from that data. As professionals, we are answerable to the audit committee or to the board, as the case may be. So the most important initiative of this board is to ensure that all of us have the data, analyze that data, and bring out exception reporting, bring out something which is very important for that. I will not stand between you and the learned speakers. We have three learned speakers. We have the President SAFA, Shri Nihar Sambusaria, who would speak here. So I would like to withdraw, but I will withdraw by saying that the profession of chartered accountancy, the profession of professionals, is going ahead. And I'm reminded of a couplet which says, देते ना थे जो जवाब उनके सलाम आने लगे, देते ना थे जो जवाब उनके सलाम आने लगे, वक्त बदला तो मेरे नीम के पेड़ पर आम आने लगे. So my dear friends, the entire professional fraternity is now getting benefited by the technology outburst, by the technology advancement which is now coming into our professional avenues. I call all of you to be an integral part, understand what is machine language, understand what is ChatGPT, understand how you can use robotics, how you can use artificial intelligence to add value to your clients. And the basic purpose of holding program every Friday is to do so. And today's three speakers, I can say only one thing. Mr. Kiran Kumar is a senior chartered accountant. He looks young, but he's otherwise a very senior chartered accountant who's been adding value to Coke over now 17, 18 years. The second speaker, Mr. Suyash Chaudhary, again is a man who has lot of insight into the professional attributes which a chartered accountant needs. And the third speaker, I know him since he was a young boy, C.A. Deepak Gupta. He has been over the years dedicated himself to training of chartered accountants so that the right perspectives can be put into the right way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish this webinar all success. Let's all listen to this and create value and worth which we can use for our clients, for the regulators, for the government. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your dedication, sir. Now, I would like to extend my warm welcome to our respectable President of SAFA, C.A. Nihar and Jambusaria, sir. He is a past president of ICAI, a blend of experience, foresight, technical expertise, and professional excellence. He is a member of Professional Accountants in Business Advisory Group of International Federation of Accountants. He was also board member of IRDA and was nominated by Review Committee for BCom Honors and BCom New Syllabus for all the universities of the country. He has been a prolific speaker at national and international forum and had addressed more than 900 webinars so far. Now, I would like to request him to say a few keywords for us.
Thank you for Banu and Chairman of the IT Committee of SAFA and Digital Accounting and Assurance Board of ICI, C.H. Charanjot Singh Nandaji. Today's three very learned speakers, Mr. Kiran Kumar, Mr. Chaudhary, and C.A. Deepak Gupta. I'm sure that you have, or I'm not aware whether you have divided this RPA, ChatGPT, and artificial intelligence among you, or you are going to speak on all collectively. But then I think today's topic once again is very important. In the past also we have had this topic for discussion, and in regular practice also we use artificial intelligence in a crude way unknowingly also. ChatGPT very few use, and today we will have adequate guidance to know as to how to use ChatGPT to our advantage and get the desired results. Robotic processes automation, it is known that it reduces the human intervention to the maximum level. And as Nandaji rightly put, data is the new oil, data is the new precious metal of the world today. Because gold has no longer remained as important as it used to be. But if your data is not structurally designed, if it is not available through AI, then you would continue to do the routine jobs that you were doing in the past, and you know how time consuming it is. The volume of data has increased so much that we all must, whether a person is a newcomer in the profession or is a very senior person who is about to retire, without technology, without knowledge of RPA and AI, perhaps it will be very difficult to survive in the profession. In fact, if you know all these three, particularly AI and RPA, it will be very easy to progress, because once routine functions are delegated to the technology, it will be very easy to focus on strategic decisions based on the data that is provided in structured form with proper analysis. And clients would look for decision making more rather than maintaining accounts or keeping up their compliances. The machines will take over these functions very soon completely, and we will all be required to focus on analysis. So in this era, I think at very right time, Nandaji has taken up this task very seriously under these committees, and every week for the professional accountants across 7 countries, he is providing these sessions from expert speakers, which provides a lot of inputs and encouragement to members for adopting technology as fast as possible. So not only the awareness, but actual working on technology, learning it properly is very important. And I'm sure every professional accountant will achieve this target very soon, to be more effective and more progressive. So with this, once again, I hand over back to the moderator of the session, CA Banu. And I'm sure the three speakers will add a lot of value at the end of this session today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I extend my warm welcome to CA Deepak Gupta ji, one of our eminent speakers for today. He is co-founder of Study Cafe, having more than 13 plus years of industry experience, and he has worked with best brands like Hero, Wipro, Ericsson before starting Study Cafe. Over the years, he has gained vast experience in the fields of AI tools and Microsoft Office tools. He has trained more than 10,000 persons in AI tools, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Google Sheet, Google Forms, and other tools. Now, I request CA Deepak Gupta ji to initiate this webinar.
Thank you, Bhanu. And first of all, I would like to thank you, CA Charanjot Singh Nandaji, who is the Central Council member of ICI and Chairman of Digital Accounting Assurance Board of ICI as well. CA Nihar sir as well. And I would like to extend my thanks to Kiran Kumar ji as well and Sujasi as well, who will be taking the second session. So we have discussed before starting the session that how we will be taking the session. So, friends, like Nandaji has said, and this session that Sir has planned, nowadays this AI is, everybody is talking about, and some says that AI will take off the jobs of a lot of people. And we being chartered accountant, we, like Sir said, we are non-technical person, and Sir is planning session for the this technical session for the non-technical persons. Rightly said, reason being ChatGPT and these AI tools and RPA is going to be the future. The work which one person or a person or 10 persons can do, that work of all these things can be done by RPA, AI, and ChatGPT by a single-handed one person. So it is very much important for all of chartered accountant that we should also learn these AI tools and we should also learn ChatGPT, because the technology is changing and demand is also changing in the market, right? So we should not be doing the bookkeeping, and we should not be sitting like doing all these accounting work, because like Niyar sir said, in future these things will be taken over by the technology, and which this is very rightly said. Reason being, these technologies are doing a lot of things. In future, you will see that you will scan the invoices, and entry will be done by the AI tools, right? And you will be amazed to see after today's session that these chat gpt and AI tools can do a lot of things which we were thinking that how this can be possible. So let me share my screen, and then I'll start my proper deliberation. So I'm sharing my screen. So our today's topic of ChatGPT and AI tools for professionals, and how we can get the benefit of these AI tools. See, ChatGPT can do a lot of things. You can ask any questions from the ChatGPT. This is a live bot which is there in front of you, and whatever the questions you will be asking from this live bot, that bot will be able to reply to you as well. Whether it's the coding, whether it's the any technical question, whether it's anything you want to create, any PowerPoint presentations as well. When before you going to the client, you can ask for the notice replies as well. You can create your income tax, GST, and other notice replies as well. You can also share these notice replies and get the corrections from the AI as well. So ChatGPT, Google Bard, all these tools are doing a lot of things, and these are helping professionals to save their time and efficiency as well. And I believe that after having this session, you will be able to save your lot of time which you are doing in your day-to-day function. MS Office, like it includes Excel as well, Word as well, Outlook as well, sending emails as well. This is required for every chartered accountant, whether it is working into the company and whether into the practice as well. Reason being, we cannot work without these tools. These are the backbone of our work, and we cannot imagine doing work without these tools. And these AI tools, along with this MS Office and other office functions, is helping us to reduce our lot of time which we are wasting in doing the manual task and clerical task. These manual tasks and clerical tasks we can do with the help of the ChatGPT and other AI tools, right? So we will see that how we can do that. this Elon Musk has rightly said that AI will not replace you. A person using the AI will definitely replace you. The statement which I have quoted, reason being, we are reluctant to change, we are reluctant to adopt the technology. But my dear friends, I would say that please start adopting the technology. Otherwise, this statement which Elon Musk is saying is going to be true. Reason being, after seeing today's session, you will be able to understand that if work which 4 or 5 or 10 people doing, that work can be done by only one person, that too is also single-handedly in few hours, right? So the person who knows how to use AI, the person who know how to use RPA, how to implement RPA, that person will be able to take up of the your work. Reason being, you will be doing all these things manually, and that person is doing all these things with the robotic process, with the AI. He just need to click one button, and then all things will be done. So this is why I have mentioned this statement clearly, that please start adopting the AI. Without adopting the AI, it will be difficult for the profession to cope up in future. Reason being, lot of people will be start using these AI tools. Companies will start using. Even imagine your client has started using it and you are not using it. Client will asking you all these things and you are not using it. Then your client will say that you are lagging behind. So in that case, before clients start using, you should start using these AI tools, and you will be amazed to see the results of these AI tools. In end of today's session is what are the AI tools like ChatGPT, AI tools, Google Bard, benefits of ChatGPT and AI tools for the professionals, and how ChatGPT and AI tools can really help professionals. Practical examples we will see, right? So, what is the Chat GPT? Chat GPT, we all know that this is the large language module chatbot developed by the OpenAI. I'm sure today everybody is knowing what is Chat GPT, and everybody is using the account of the Chat GPT. Somehow you might have done anything, like you asked any question, you try to translate any language, you try to generate the code. You might have used it for any of the reasons, right? It can do a lot of work for you, replying for the notices, creating your CVs as well. You can share your problems as well. That solution you will get. You ask for the coding problem as well. That also you will get it. You ask the Python problem, that Python solution it will give you. You ask for the VBA problem, VBA solution it will give you. Ask anything, you will get the solution from the Chat GPT. So what else you need it? We used to search it over the Google. We used to click on the 10 different websites. Then also we were not sure that result is correct or not. But here results are correct and 100% accurate as well. So these tools, and since the Chat GPT came after that, Google has also launched their AI tool, which is Google Bard. And Google Bard is also daily basis updating their AI tools. Reason being, they know that this is the future. Google search is not going to be there in future. People will be using Chat GPT. People will be using the Google Bard because they are providing the accurate result. On the Google search, we have to search 10 different websites, but here we need not to search different websites. We are getting the exact results which is being provided by these AI tools. So these AI tools can do a lot of things: generate text, code, translate language, write different kind of creative content, answer your question. Apart from that, a lot of other things it can do. Right, it is into the development process, and it keeps on updating. Like earlier, ChatGPT 3.5 was there. They have launched ChatGPT 4 as well, which is the paid version. But 3.5 is enough for us, for the professionals to use it. We need not to go for the 4, which is the paid version. 3.5 is the free version, is sufficient for us to work on it. I've given the link as well. When I will be sharing this PPT, you can access that from that link as well. So what are the benefits of AI tools for the professionals? It increase our productivity, right? Improved the creativity as well, enhance our a lot of efficiency, and it automate a lot of tasks for us as well. It gain insights, and with the help of these tools, we will be able to take them better decisions, right? Increasing productivity is very much. Reason being, you will see that the work which you used to do it in hours, that work is being done by in few seconds. Creativity also, you can create the PowerPoint presentation, you can give any situation, and for that creativity you can ask from the AI tools, it will give you the enhanced creativity as well. Efficiency also, it will increase. Reason being, the work which you were doing in the few hours, that has been done by a few seconds. Automation, like we are doing many things which are daily basis routines. We are doing all these tasks, but these tasks we need to automate. Simple example is that we chartered accountant, those who are into the practice, they are sending emails to their clients on monthly basis. Every time you need to send email for the, first of all, for the TDS and TCS written data you are asking from the clients. GSTR1 data you are asking, then GSTR3B data you are asking. After that, you are asking data for, let's suppose, tax audit, statutory audit, GST annual return. Imagine you have hundreds plus clients and you are keep on sending mails to them. To each and every client, you are just sending the mails, asking them to provide the data. One person is stuck in all these things, but that work can be done by the AI as well. We will see that as well, that how we can do that. So I will share the macros, how you can create the macros. I will also tell you how to use these macros. Here are the few examples. These are the very few examples considering the time. I have mentioned only 4-5 things here, but you can do a lot of other things as per your requirement. My purpose here is to tell you how to use these macro. You can start using these macros as per your need, right? You can start using, just have the, you have the situation, and on the basis of the situation, you go to the ChatGPT and Google Bard and other AI tools, ask for the macros, and then try to implement it, and you will see that you will be saving a lot of hours as well. So these tools will be able to help us using the macros as well. Legal drafting also we can do using the ChatGPT and AI tools. We can reply for various notices as well. We can take the help of these tools to reply for these notices of income tax, GST, and notices for other acts as well. Professional email writing, because I've seen many people do not write the professional email. They try to use the WhatsApp languages. We should avoid all these WhatsApp languages, especially the youngsters, because they have a habit of using the WhatsApp and messages, and same kind of mails they write it while doing their professional work. So that you should avoid. And in case any professional email or any kind of enhanced email you want to write, that also you can take the help of these AI tools. You can generate summaries of the judgments and notifications as well. And you can create the awesome PowerPoint presentations as well using the AI tool. These are the very few things considering the time limitation I mentioned. You can do a lot of other things as well using these AI tools. So you will see, first of all, how we can use the macros and how macros can help us saving our lot of time which we are wasting in our day-to-day tasks. So first is macros. What is macros? We all know that whenever we use Microsoft Excel, there we used to file the income tax returns as well. We used to file GST annual returns or GST monthly returns, and there we find one button, and every time we need to enable that file. So why we need to enable that file? Because we need to enable macro every time we save that file. While filing the income tax returns through the utilities, we used to see that we used to click on one button, and that one button used to calculate the tax. That one button used to tell us that everything we have filled in the Excel file is correct or not. Similar kind of Excel, similar kind of macros, we can create it as per our requirement for our needs as well. So first of all, I'm sharing one example of sending the emails to your clients for filing the monthly returns as well. Right. So let's suppose, let me open the file. Every month, we need to send a lot of emails to our client or WhatsApp is to ask them to share the data, or we need to call them to share the data. And it takes a lot of time of ours asking clients to share the data. Let's suppose you every month, and since the beginning of the GST, our work has increased so much. Every time we are asking data, first of all, GSTR1, then 3B, then 9C, TDS, TCS, annual return, ROC filing, statutory audit, tax audit. Either we have created the WhatsApp groups with the client, or we are sending mails and one person is sending mails with the clients. Here, I mentioned the name of the client's email ID. I mentioned here. I mentioned the boss email ID, like the who is the owner of the company or partner, proprietor, whoever your boss email ID. Which month data you are asking? I have mentioned here. We need the data for the month of November. Which kind of data you need? We need data for the GSTR1. What date up to which you want the client should share the data with you? we have mentioned that client should share the data with us on 7th of every month, or you can change this date every time whenever you want. So this time November data, November 2023 data, we want, let's suppose December, or let's change it to the October. October data we want the client should share with 7th of November, and due date of filing the return, which we have mentioned is the last date, is 11th of November. So by 11th of November, we want that client should share the data with us, right? Now, you just need to put the email IDs and name of all your clients, whether you have 50 clients, 60 clients, 100 clients, just mention it here. Every month, just change these four factors, whether the October or return type, then click on the change the date, last date, and click on the send. As soon as you click on the send, your mail will be sent to all your clients, and you will get this message that mail has been sent. See this. Imagine you have hundreds of your clients, 200, 500, 50, 60, whatever number of the clients you have. You are wasting a lot of time doing this email task, because being a small practitioner, that person who started the practice newly, they are sending these mails, they are asking clients to share the data on timely basis. Now see the mail as well, mail content as well. You can modify the mail content as well. That also I will tell you how to do it. Let's suppose the title we have mentioned, urgent request to share the GSTR1 data for the period October 2023. Dear Deepak, I trust this message finds you well. We would like to bring to your kind attention that due date of filing GSTR1 return is approaching for the period this. In accordance with the government regulation, the deadline for filing R1 is for the month October 2023, it's 11th of November. To ensure smooth and timely process, we request you provide the data by this date. We must emphasize and significance the meeting this deadline. If data not received by this date, you can clearly mention that we will not be responsible, because sometimes we have faced that client does not share the data on time, and later on they ask and they says to us that boss, you have not filed the return to us properly, you have not provided, you are not given time. So clearly we have mentioned we will not be able to guarantee the timely filing of your return if data will not receive by this time. Considering any delay in filing or government impose any penalty or interest that may arise due to the late submission of data and will not be our responsibility. To streamline this process, please submit your data with us on the timeline mentioned above. And if you encounter any difficulties or have any question, you can ask to us. This mail we have created once. Now change it to whatever month you want, whatever date you want. Now it will change it. It will save your hours of time which you are wasting sending emails to your client. Let's suppose this time we are asking month data for the November. 3B data we want that client should share it by 15th of December. Due date of 3B is, let's suppose, 20th of the next month, 20th of the December. Just click on send mail. This time it will send a mail with the GSTR 3B. See this. You will see that the mail will be sent and asking client to share the data for the GSTR 3B for the period November 2023. The 3B is coming, November is coming, due date is coming, by when you want the data is coming. Imagine you have 100 clients, 150 clients, 50 clients, 30 clients, whatever the number of clients you have. Everybody is using the emails. You just need to use this VBA tools. How I have created this? I've created this using the two functions. One is the AI tools, other one is the Excel. In Excel, I have implemented the ChatGPT's VBA code. Being the professional, we don't know how to use these VBA code. Being the professional, we don't know how we can implement these things. But the good news is that this is ChatGPT. We can use that. Using that, we can implement it. So I'm sharing 2-3 examples. After that examples I will share, I will come on how we can implement all these things in our day-to-day life as well, so that we can save our hours of time using we can automate our work as well, and we can save our hours of time, the work which we are doing it, which can be done by automation as well, right? One is the email file, email which we are sending for this thing filing the returns. Then you can automate the invoices sending mails as well. You can automate the payment reminders. We chartered accountant does not receive the payments for years. This year audit payment will come next year. Reason being, we don't have time. We are stuck with the invoices. We are stuck with the workload. One due date is ending and then another due date is started. We don't have time to ask clients that they should make the payment to us on the time. And because of that, our outstanding is each on increasing. And next year, when the client comes for the audit and we check our books of account, then we ask that yes, the last year payment was not done, and that time they make the payment. No, sir, we are giving the maximum credit period of 365 days in the industry. Nobody is providing the 365 credit period in the business. Maximum credit period of the companies are providing is the 90 days. So why we are providing 365 credit period? Reason being, we don't have time. Because as soon as the tax audit completed, we started the statutory audit. Then we started the monthly work of filing the. Then we have the income tax notices are coming. Then GST notices are coming. So we don't have time. We don't have time to do the follow up for our payment, and because of that, our outstanding is increasing. If you start sending these mails at least once or twice in a month, I guarantee you your 30% of outstanding payment will start coming automatically. For that, you need not to do anything. The only thing you need to do is you need to mention your name of the client, email ID, your boss email ID. And if you are the boss, then please mention your email ID. And if you do not want to mention your email ID, that's fine. You do not want to CC, it's fine. You need to take the outstanding amount, like whatever is the outstanding of that particular client. You just export the ledgers of all the your parties. Then on which date you are exporting all these ledger. Let's suppose you are exporting till 30th September, you exporting till 30th October, you exporting till 30th of August, whatever date, or monthly you can do it, twice in a month you can do it. Whenever you are exporting, just mention that outstanding till this date. Whatever is the amount outstanding for that particular client, you can mention that amount here as well. Against which invoice that amount is outstanding, or against which service that amount is outstanding, you can mention the professional fees, whether the audit, whether the statutory audit, whatever the function or whatever the services against which amount is outstanding, you can mention that as well. Up to which date you want that client should make the payment, and up to last date, because if client does not make payment up to this date, then you can say that you are registered under MSME and other MSME Act, you will be charging interest of this much amount if the payment is not received by 60 or 90 days. So at least client will think that, oh, they are registered with the MSME, being the MSME company, we need to make the payment to them on the immediate basis. Otherwise, their auditor will also disallow that payment because the payment was not done within the time. So if you not ask from the client to clear the payment, they will not make payment. At least we need to send the reminders to the client asking the payment, but we are not doing it. Reason being reluctant and lack of time. Time issue, I can resolve it. You go to the ChatGPT, ask this code, and you will be able to do it. I will share all these files as well, and you can use these files as well. How I have done it? After third example, I will tell you how I have done it. So here also what I have done, I mentioned the name of the clients. Here also you can mention all your clients, whatever the number of clients you have, clients email IDs, most email IDs, outstanding till date, amount outstanding, against professional fees, due date, and then last date, and then click on the send. You can customize the mail as per your requirement. Whatever the mail you want to send, you can send that mail. You can see here the mail which is coming, the detailed mail I have mentioned, in which I have mentioned cover each and everything. That client will not say that I don't have your bank account details. Bank account details have been provided. We have mentioned that payment will be done by this date. If not done, then 6% interest will be levied. You can also mention that we are registered under the MSME as well, right? All these things you can mention in your mail, so that client should not ask, or client should not say that, I have not received your mail, this thing was not mentioned in the email, that thing was not mentioned in the email. This is the draft email which I've created covering maximum things. Still, if you want to add any other thing, that also you can add in your mail. How detailed mail is this? I hope you are this mail finds you well. I'm writing on behalf of Study Cafe to follow for the outstanding payment for the services rendered to the your company, as there remains the outstanding balance of rupees this much. We value the relationship with the Swastik and have strived to offer the best services. We would appreciate if the pending amount could be cleared at the earliest to maintain the smooth functioning of our business relationship. Kindly verify this against your reports, and if there is any discrepancy or clarification required, please let us know within 7 days. If you already processed this payment, kindly share the payment details or remittance advice so that we can reconcile it. Request you kindly make the payment of the professional fees. Our bank account details has been given below. You can mention your bank account details as well, and please share the payment confirmation with us, and you can mention you are registered on the MSME. Any other thing you want to mention, that also you can see that as well. Now imagine you have number of clients, numerous clients. Every month you are sending mails to your clients. During the audit time, you are sending mails, a lot of mails you are sending, and you are wasting a lot of time. You don't have time for the follow up as well. That also you can do. You don't have time to send the emails. You are sending one email to your clients. For that also there is a solution with the ChatGPT and AI tools. Let's suppose invoices you want to share or invoices you want to send to your clients. The problem is that every client is having the different invoice amount. Every client is having the different attachment, or you are doing the work for your client. Being into the being in your work, you are handling their payroll. In the payroll, you need to send the form 16 to each and every of the employees. Form 16A also need to share on the quarterly basis. Then it is a very tedious task to share the form 16, 16A to each and every person, and that too is also the same form 16 should be shared with that particular person. It should not be that the Deepak's form 16 should be shared with the Pratibha shared with the Raja, and Raja shared with the Deepak. Deepak should get his form 16, Pratibha should get her form 16, Raja should get his form 16. Or if you are sharing the invoices, then particular person should get the particular person invoices as well. Even you can attach the outstanding ledgers as well with the payment mail, that this is the outstanding ledger as well, or these are the outstanding invoices as well for which you need to make the payments as well, right? So these are for your day-to-day operational, what are the day-to-day work you are doing it. That work you can automate and you can save your lot of time using these tools as well. Here also what I've done, I mentioned the invoice amount. This is for the monthly invoice. These are the email IDs of the client, name of the client, contact person, boss email ID. Let's suppose invoice for the period of September, and to someone you are sharing the invoice for the November, to someone you are sharing December, and service availed, monthly consultancy someone availed, someone has taken the audit as well. Whatever the service they have availed, and that mail you can share. The only thing again you need to do is you need to send the mail to them. Here, it will be sent from this macro button. That button I think is not activated. So I need to choose. I need to choose that attachments, that from which folder these attachments should be sent, so that Deepak should receive the Deepak's attachment, Pratibha should receive Pratibha's attachment, Raja should receive Raja's attachment. Every client should receive their attachment, their invoice, so that we should not waste time in sending the attachment. First, we download it from the Tally, then we attach each and every invoices to each and every client, and it takes a lot of time. One day we waste on sending the emails to the clients. Either we are wasting or our staff is wasting. So anyone is wasting, actual our time is getting wasted. So here you can see that Deepak is getting the Deepak attachment, where dear Deepak, trust this message finds you well. We appreciate your continued partnership with the Study Cafe, and we are grateful for the opportunities to provide our services. As per agreement, we are pleased to send you the invoice for the monthly consultancies availed for the period this, and please note that invoice amount is this. Please ensure that payment made by due date is mentioned, and make payment through bank, check, UPI, whatever. Any clarification question, you can send mail on this email ID. Whatever you want to mention, In this case, you can see the audit is coming. In last case, we have mentioned the monthly consultancy is coming. So wherever you want to share that this is the audit services you have availed, period also you have mentioned, amount also you have mentioned, that how much time you are saving. Imagine in a month how many mails you need to send multiplied by the number of clients, and you can imagine that how much time you will be able to save using these tools. You'll be able to save a lot of time using these tools if you make these tools in your day-to-day life. Start using these tools in your day-to-day life, then you will be able to save a lot of times. Now the question comes is that how we can do that, how we can create these tools for our working, how we can use these. Let me share that as well. Friends, first of all, you need to understand the problem. First of all, you need to find out what exactly you want to do and what is your problem. So I understood that first thing is that every month clients is sending the emails to their CAs are sending mails to their clients on monthly basis, and they need to send a lot of mails to different clients, right? So for that, I have created this Excel file. First of all, to send email for written filing, I have mentioned that what are the mandatory fields which we needed to send the emails. One mandatory field is the name of the client. Another mandatory field is the email ID of the client. Then our email ID. After that, main thing is that which month data we need, that is mandatory. Which written data we need, that is also mandatory. And two more things which is mandatory is the date up to which we need the data and date up to which we want that client should share the data, right? These things are the mandatory. So I have written all these things at some place in my Excel sheet. I have written it here. The client name, email ID, you can write it anywhere. There is no fixed format that it should be written on left hand side, right hand side. Anywhere you want to write it down. Right, boss email ID, then month, return type. And apart from these things, if you need any other thing as well, that also you can write it down. You can take that also into the consideration. I have written each and everything. After that, to ask from anything from the ChatGPT, you need to provide the question to them. What exactly you want? So I wanted that a VBA code, which I have put it here. I wanted from the ChatGPT to provide me a code which I can put it here into the Excel. So once this code is there into the Excel, I just click one button and mail should shoot to all the persons. This is what I wanted. So this is my expectation. So to fulfill my expectation, I have written down each and everything. I have written the prompt. The prompt is that create a macro to send emails using the Outlook to the email IDs given in the column B. My email IDs are given in this column B. So I have written that create a macro to send the emails to the Outlook to the email IDs given in the column B. Next question I've mentioned, the subject should be urgent request to share jet data for the period of this. So here I mentioned that subject should be share the data for the month or written type. So share jet data. What is jet data? Jet data is the cell E2. E2 is my due written filing type. What kind of written we needed. Then X, I have mentioned here that every time X comes, pick the data from the D2. D2 is my month. So obviously in the subject, these two parameters will come. And if you're changing your parameters, then also your mail will not go into the spam, right? Now I mentioned that X here will be the value D2. What is the Y stands for? What is Z stands for? What is A stands for? What is B stands for? I mentioned each and everything. Then I mentioned that body of the email should be, the body of email will be, dear Y, I trust this message finds you well. We would like to bring to your kind attention that due date of filing Z return is approaching, and for the period X. So we have mentioned that wherever ZX is there, you can please take the data from this data. So in case of these keep on increasing, it will automatically pick the name from here, email ID from here, and these are the fixed fields R1, 3B, and whatever. And we have mentioned that We must emphasize the significance of meeting these things, each and everything, whatever we wanted to put it in our mail, we have mentioned. We have copied all these things. This is our question which we are asking from the ChatGPT, the prompt which we will ask from the ChatGPT. This is the interface of the ChatGPT. You can Google it. Just write it down on the Google ChatGPT. If anybody is not having the account, and I'm sure everybody will be having account with the ChatGPT. Today, there will not be any person who is not using or who have not tried ChatGPT. If not tried, then go and try it. It is really wonderful. It is giving you very exact results and very helpful in reducing a lot of time, improving your efficiency as well. So this is the interface of the ChatGPT, where your past history of the chat is coming here. This is ChatGPT 3.5 version, and this is the ChatGPT 4 version. I have both the version. In your case, you can use only 3.5 version. You can ask your message by typing here in using the send message. Just click on the send message, and then you will be able to send your message, and ChatGPT will give you the solution for your problem. So whatever problem you're asking, in our case, we are asking from the ChatGPT to provide the VBA code. So I have copied this, went to the ChatGPT, asking that this is the situation. I want you to give me the VBA code for this situation. As soon as the ChatGPT, I put my question, ChatGPT started working, right? And ChatGPT started providing me the VBA code. Once this code will be completed, I will be informed that code is completed, and I will be getting the steps by step process where I need to paste this code. So I know where I need to paste this code. So I'll copy this code. I'll go to my Excel file where I mention each and everything, that this thing should be picked from there, this thing should be picked from here, each and everything I mentioned. I'll go to the developer option, I'll go to the Visual Basic, and here my code is coming. In your case, if you go to the sheet one, because you'll be working in the sheet one, then there will not be code, and you can replace the code which ChatGPT will provide with your code. After that, click on the macro. You will see this option of run. It will come and run it. Right. Once you've done it and it starts working, it will start you with the desired result. Then you can create this button as well. Right. And first of all, you need to try. Sometimes it will not give you the desired result. Reason being, you are using the first time. Reason might be ChatGPT is not able to understand your query. Reason might be you are not able to explain what exactly you want. So in starting, you will get some issues. You will get some errors, because this VBA is the tricky thing. But imagine few years back when we used to ask that VBA, we used to be bothered that how to create these VBA, but this is very difficult. But now we don't need to create, we just need to put the situation, we just need to write the situation, and that complex code is being created by the ChatGPT. We just need to copy this code, put it into our particular Excel file, and then run this code. Once you run this code, it will give you the result. Right? Sometimes, let's suppose you are not able to provide the correct variables, correct answer, you will get some issues. But you can ask ChatGPT that the code which you have provided, there is some error. This is the error coming. Please resolve it. ChatGPT will give you the new code, replace the new code as well, and thereafter you will be able to get the new code as well, and then try that. It will work for you. Here, in my case, send button is coming. In your case, send button might not come. So how you can get this send button? In the developer tab, you can click on this insert, and there is from the controls, you'll see this button, and from that button, you can simply create this button here. Select the macro, which macro you want to use, right? And let's suppose this send mail, we want to use it. Okay. And then this button will be created for you. In the developer tab, into the insert box, and this button is coming here. You can change the name as well. Right click here, or simply change the name as well. Your name will be changed. Right. Similar this button, we have seen it earlier many times while filing the income tax returns earlier in GST as well. This comes in the many utilities of the government. Government provides this button. Reason being, it validates whatever the macro you have created it validates whole function. So in income tax also, we used to click one button and used to get the refund status, used to get the, how much refund is coming, how much tax is coming, what is the tax payable. Each and every sheet, we had this button to validate. Similarly, you have this button, click that button, and then mail will be sent to each and every user of yours. Once the code you have put into the sheet and you are saving the sheet so that you can use it in future again and again, just save it as macro enabled file, like we used to do it for the income tax filing utilities as well. Save it as a macro enabled workbook, otherwise it will not work when you open that file in future, because it will work as a normal Excel file. If it will work as a normal Excel file, then it will not give you the desired result of the macro which we have added. So whenever you are saving this file, use this option of Excel enabled macro workbook, and then your macro will be saved. And next time when you will open this file, you can simply send mail, just changing the email IDs or changing the name and date, whatever you want to do, that you can do it. You can create multiple sheets as well for the tedious clients. You can have that few clients are not doing the GST work with you, few clients are not doing the ROC work. You have that separate list of ROC work clients, separate list of tedious work clients, separate list of income tax works. All these lists separately you can mention into the one sheet as well. When you want to send the TDS mail, open the TDS sheet. When you want to send the GST, open the GST sheet. In that case, you need not to, filter the client data every time. Just create the sheets 4 times and then it will be done. Similarly, I have used this prompt to send the payment reminder similar to this. This is the payment reminder I have created. Right. So I have mentioned each and everything here in my mail, and on the basis of that, I have written to ChatGPT that provide me the VBA tool, or macro also you can write. I have put this question, and ChatGPT has provided me the VBA code. Similar to this, I have added this VBA code. Similar to this, I have added this VBA code in my Excel file, and it started working for me. I have created a lot of examples here for sending the emails. Like here, sending the email using the Outlook. Invoices, because it takes a lot of time to send invoice to at least 50 clients. If you're sending the invoices, it takes a lot of time. You can save that time as well. Just put all your clients' invoices in one folder. From that folder, it will pick invoices automatically for each and every client, and mail will be sent to all the clients in flick of the seconds. You need not to wait for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour to send the mails. You just put 100 email IDs in your folder, or 100 attachments in your folder. Mention 100 email IDs in your Excel file, 100 names, and it will send quickly without wasting much time. There are a lot of prompts mentioned here. Same thing, you can do it using the Google as well. If you want to share it with the Gmail, you can use it with the help of the Google Sheet as well. And same macro code that I also mentioned. I'll just briefly explain that as well. Now, one more small example of this tool. Not only the email, you can do a lot of things using these VB tools, right? So due to the time constraint, I am not mentioning each and every example. I am just mentioned one example of email properly, and now I'm putting going to the this option of adding the multiple files. Let's suppose you have a lot of data in these files. There are 15, 20 files, and you need to copy the data of all these 15, 20 files at one place. What you will do, one option is that you will just keep on opening these files. You will open one file, and what you will do, you will just open, close all these files. You don't have time to do all these things automatically. The only option you can do is using the chat GPT. You can create the macro, ask the chat GPT that I want to copy the data from particular folder. Whatever the files are there in this folder, copy all the data of all the files in this folder and share it with me. So it will combine all the data of that file. whether it is into the same format, it is in the different format. You need to provide the question to the ChatGPT that just copy only A to C column, copy all the columns, copy this column, that column. It will do it for you. Let's suppose here I'm asking from ChatGPT that compile all the data which is there in one particular folder in this sheet. For that, what macro I have written, prompt I have written first, create an Excel macro that copies data from the all files in a folder that user selects in the sheet name called compile data here of the current Excel workbook. So this is my current Excel workbook. The sheet name is called compile data here. In this compile data here, if you try to do it into the sheet one, it will not work, my dear friends. Reason being, in your question, you have mentioned that please do it only if the compiled data here is mentioned. If you start doing this activity in sheet one, it will not work. Then a box should open, allowing user to select the folder. And then once the folder is selected, all the files inside the folder should be copied and stacked one below the other. And after that message should appear that data has been copied using these files. What else you need? Let's see the practical example. If we copy all these data from this folder, it will take at least 5 minutes. There are 15 files to do this activity. Imagine these are a few examples I'm sharing. You can have numerous other examples as per your need. You might need to add data, you might need to remove data. I used ChatGPT to save lakhs of rupees as well recently. Using that, one of my developer was asking, so many amount, and I've used ChatGPT to resolve that problem as well. Using the Excel and ChatGPT, I have done that as well. So you can see this. These are the few examples. You can use it for the reconciliation of the GST 3B and 2A as well. I have created it earlier as well during the COVID time. Also, we have used it. You can have data of 3B and 2A as well, and you can reconcile it without using any software. That also you can do it. That is the power of this ChatGPT and AI tools. You can simply ask the question and it will give you the VBA tool. And this VBA tool is so powerful. You have seen into the income tax utilities as well. How powerful income tax utility used to be, how powerful GST utility used to be. That it is taking all the data of all the different places. Now here you can see all the data of the 15 different files has been copied. Now I've mentioned that just take the data from the A to C. If there is somebody will say that sir, it has copied only A to C. What if the data should have from A to G, H, I, J, K? Oh, no issue. It will take all the data from A to K as well. In my case, the data was only into A to C. Let's suppose in your case, data is from A to K, but you want to copy from A to C only. That also you can mention to the ChatGPT in your question. Like here I mentioned that copy all the data. Create a macro that copies data from the all files. Here you can mention that copy data only from the cell reference A to C, or only from the cell reference this to this, or only from column A to C, or only from row A to this row, B to this row. Whatever you will mention in your question, same task it will do it for you. Like we used to have the Jinni and Aladdin stories, we have heard it. It is similar to that. Whatever you ask, same question answer you will get. If you say that copy only A1 cell, it will copy only A1. If you say that copy whole sheet, it will copy whole sheet. And there are a lot of other examples. This is the code for the sending emails from the Google Sheet as well. You can do it. Those who will say that, sir, we don't have the Outlook, we don't use Outlook. No issue if you don't use the Outlook. You can do it from the Google Sheets as well. You can create the Google Sheets, ask from the ChatGPT that I want to send the email using the Google Sheet and Gmail, because Gmail and Google Sheet is interlinked. Outlook and MS Office is interlinked. So Outlook is able to send because this is the same company product. Gmail and Google Sheet is the same company product, Google's product. So they have the interconnectivity. If you try to send that mail from the Gmail, Excel mail, it will not go because it will ask for the authorization here. Because authorization which asking, Google product is asking. So no issue in that. Same process here also we have mentioned that client name, email ID, boss, everything I mentioned. I asked the ChatGPT same question that I need. This time I asked that I need to send email from the Gmail using the Google Sheet. Same factors which I mentioned in my Excel file, I mentioned here as well. And after that, I'm going to this option of extensions and then app script. And here I have added my code, which ChatGPT has provided to me. This code I have written here in this sheet as well. That also I will share with the team. You can use these codes as well. So same code which is there, I have mentioned in this sheet as well. This is the code. Now you need to click on the run, and then your mail will be sent using the Gmail. What else you need? You will people used to say to me that, sir, we are not having Outlook. How can we do that? So then I said, you can use Gmail as well. The mail will be sent from the Gmail. No issue in that. But at least try these tools. It will be able to solve your problems. It will be able to resolve your issues as well. You can see that all emails has been sent. And if you go my sent box, you will see that all emails has been sent. What else do you need? These are the few just examples which I'm sharing with you. Imagine any real life problem and any repetitive task which you are doing it. Just try to do that repetitive task, and you just imagine that how you can resolve that repetitive task. See this 976. The mail has been sent. What else you need? Any kind of repetitive task, try to resolve it using these AI tools. You will be able to resolve all your queries as well. So these are the VBA code examples which I have shared with you. There are numerous other examples also which you can create as well. Now, another option is that enhancing the legal drafting with ChatGPT, or how you can use ChatGPT for legal drafting as well. Friends, this is another topic which chartered accountants require, because maximum chartered accountants and lawyers are, fighting for the cases, and especially for the financial cases like income tax, GST. We chartered accountant deal with the departments, whether the GST case, whether the income tax case, whether the ROC, whether the MCA, all these things we deal with it. And because of that, we need assistance of the chat GPT as well. And we take a lot of time creating the drafts as well. After draft, proofreading is also required, whether the judgment, if we want to quote, that also we need it. For that, these AI tools are really, really helpful for us. Let me share few examples as well. AI in the legal drafting. AI can do a lot of things. Automate in your repetitive tasks, identify your potential error, which you mentioned in your drafting, generate draft documents for you as well, provide feedback on the existing documents. If you want to create any agreement for your client is saying that, sir, please create this agreement for us, and you can charge for that service as well. That we want to avail the services of that particular vendor, or we want to give services to that person. These are the terms and conditions, and please create the legal draft. You put all the terms and conditions, mention who is the first party, who is the second party. These are the terms and conditions. These are the payment terms. These are the advance terms. These are the terms when person will not be paid anything. These will be the legal remedies. After that, you put all these things. You will see the fine draft AI tool will give it for you. Fine draft ChatGPT give it to you. Fine draft Google Bard will give it to you, and you can modify the draft as per your requirement, as per your client's requirement. You can modify the draft as well. Now let's see the few case studies for AI into the legal drafting. AI into the how AI can help us in filing the writ petition. How AI can help us in resolving the notice reply, how AI can help us creating the grounds of appeals. Let's see that as well. So there are few examples I have mentioned for AI to do this. I am sharing the case studies as well that AI can do these things as well. Believe me that for legal drafting also, on and especially for the new chartered accountant, the person who has recently qualified the chartered accountancy exams, whether the lawyer, whether the company secretary, or whether the any other profession. He is into the profession, and that person wants to do the practice into the legal, no, properly legal practice like GST, income tax. He do not want to do the traditional practice. He wants to do the specialization, but he's not having the all previous formats which he needs to deal with the department, or if he needs to create these formats, it takes a lot of time while typing. So he can take help of the AI as well, and AI will give the draft replies as well. He can modify as per the requirement, as per the needs. AI will give you only the draft reply, but AI will not give you the exact situation. What are the facts of the case that only you know and your clients know? If you put all the facts of the case, you mention the facts of the case is this, and we want to create reply this. So it will create reply in your favor. You want the reply should be created as per the department side because you have done the mistake, and after seeing the notice, you agree with the mistake. Then you will say that we will deposit the tax. That also you can mention. You can say that no, we will fight it. We will want the personal hearing as well. Whatever you want, you can do that. So here, one case of legal drafting is that I hope you can see my screen. Yes. So here, create the list of date of events or date or events in the chronological order for writ petition from the below mentioned details into tabular format. We all know that when we file the writ petition, what we need to have the list of dates or events in the chronological orders. If we start doing it, you see it is around 5-7 pages document, and if we start doing it, it will take a lot of time. Let me see first of all how many pages are there. I think 2-3 pages are there. Approximately 4,000 words is there in this document. I want the list of events chronological, means whatever event happened first, I want that event should come first, the next event as per the date wise. I put all these things, the events here, and then what I'll be doing it, I'll be asking from this AI tool that please create the list of event as per the chronological order. So this is my question. This is my prompt. So it is very important that we should learn how to interact with the AI tools, how to interact with the ChatGPT. In future, prompt engineering is going to be the very hot demanding jobs, because people will be looking and companies will be looking for those person who know how to deal or how to use AI tools, how to interact with the AI tools. That's why I said a person who is using AI tools will be able to replace you. Reason being, he knows that if this task, you ask your article, you ask your assistants, you ask your subordinate to do this thing, he would have taken at least 1 hour minimum. Assuming he's having very good speed, very good capacity, very good knowledge of the legal, if he would have done this activity, he would have taken at least 1 hour. Right? There are 4-5 pages. Right? 6 pages I have already seen. There are around 10 pages. 10 pages, and out of these 10 pages, you wanted the gist, and this gist is in front of you. Whatever the format you want, in that format it is coming. What else you needed? See here. This list of events are coming into the chronological order. Wherever there is no date is coming, it has been mentioned blank as well. It has been mentioned head. Now you have the, let's suppose, list of events in the chronological order. Now you want that create detailed facts of the case on the basis of information given above. Or we will give that information, that information we will give, which we have, and from that information we want the detailed facts of the cases to be created by this AI tools. Create detailed facts on the basis of information given below in pairwise format without heading in number, because when you are filing the petition, you don't want the subheadings, headings. You want the information should be into the paragraph format. If you want that heading should come, it will give you with the heading. You want it should be without heading, it will give you the without heading. You want with the bullets, that you will get with bullets. Without bullets, you want, it will give you the without bullets. What else do you need? What else do you need, sir? These things are very much necessary for us to adopt. The reason being, if you won't adopt, see, at least you will save a lot of time in typing if you adopt all these things, right? If you don't adopt all these things, it will take a lot of time for you to do these things. And there are a lot of examples for legal drafting, like create grounds of the writ on the basis of the above facts into the paragraph form. So from the basis of above fact, you want the grounds of the writ. You want reply for the GST notice. You want reply for the income tax notice. I agree the fact of the case only you and your client can provide. Nobody else will be able to mention the what is the fact of the case, but the drafting which a fresher chartered accountant or fresher professional does not know, or he is not having the confidence that whatever I'm writing is correct or not, that person can take the help of the AI, that this is my draft, this notice I have received, and again this notice we have prepared this draft. Kindly evaluate whether the draft is correct or not, or if any changes are required, that also please suggest. You will get the changes as well. You will get the changes as well. What else you need? What else you need? So you can see the grounds are also being prepared by the AI tools. The grounds of the writ on the basis of the fact has also been prepared by the AI tools. Create the prayer of the writ petition on the basis of the above grounds. On the basis of the grounds, if you want writ petition, I'm not saying that totally depend on this tool. Do not make your principal, make your subordinate, make this tool as your article. Like you ask things from the article, you ask from the article to do this thing, to do that thing, and once the article do anything for you, create anything for you, you just check all these things. Same thing you need to do it here as well. This is your article, this is not your principal, this is your subordinate, so you need to ask that how to do all these things, and it will do it for you as per your direction. That too is also 24/7. Your article will be there in the office from the limited time, 8 hours, 10 hours until in the morning and evening. You have the fixed time for your staff, but this tool is having no time. 24/7 you can use it anytime, it will give you the results. So see that how the prayer has been created, issue of writ, right? How well this prayer has been drafted, like a professional is drafting this prayer. I'm not saying that whatever the question or whatever the answer this tool has provided, use it blankly. No, use it only if as a, your subordinate, do the changes wherever you require, and later on the person who is using it or you are using it, you can actually do the changes which you want to do it. So similarly, there are a lot of things you can do, like reply for the notice of scrutiny assessment under GST as well. So one of our client received the GST notices having the notice number this, intimating the discrepancy in the return after scrutiny of this. We have found this. So basically, this is the crux of the notice. That notice has been received, and in this notice it has been asked to pay the difference of the liability of 8,45,000. After checking this, we have found that actual tax liability was not of 8,45,000. Actual tax liability was of only 1 lakh rupees. Only 1 lakh rupees. So we have created this draft response. We have understood what is the problem, right? We have identified our books of accounts. We have checked the facts of the case, and after checking the facts of the case, we are asking ChatGPT to create the response. Create the response. In the response of the above notice, you want to submit that. You need to provide what you want to submit. Then it will create your first paragraph, last paragraph, body also it will create, but subject it will create body information, the main crux, main facts of the case you need to provide. Once you provide, it will create a draft for you, and the draft which are the better than the draft which we can create. We cannot create these kind of a draft, right? You will be amazed after seeing the draft. If you don't like it, just say that regenerate it. It will generate the new draft for you. Same thing you can ask from the Google Bard as well. So here is the Google Bard. You can put all these things in the Google Bard as well. It will give you the many draft responses as well, right? Draft 1, draft 2, and draft 3. Whatever draft you want to use, you can use that particular draft. Also, Google Bard is that advanced. You can ask to the Google Bard that here you can see the beauty of the Google Bard. It is converted into the proper table as well. The format which we have provided to the Google is this format, right? And on the basis of that, in the flick of the second, that's converted into the proper table format. Each and everything is mentioned. Now, I'm asking from the Google Bard in or we want the judgment in our favor. It will give you the judgment. I'm not saying that these judgments are right or wrong. I have not tested it, but you will be able to see the judgments also. It is providing against the notices as well. You can use these judgments and you can at least check whether these judgments are correct or not. So here, few judgments has been given in favor of the taxpayer who made clerical errors in the GST return. One such judgment is in case of the Micromax Informatic Limited, decided by the Delhi High Court in 2020. In this case, taxpayer made a clerical error in R1, which resulted in lower tax liability being declared. The GST department issued a notice to the taxpayer demanding the difference in tax liability. The taxpayer challenged the notice in the Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court held that the clerical error made by the taxpayer in R1 were bona fide errors and did not amount to fraud and willful misstatement of the fact. The courts also held that the taxpayer had paid the correct amount of tax on actual taxable turnover. The court therefore quashed the notice. What else you need, sir? What else you need? You are getting the judgments as well in your favor, and what you need for the legal drafting. What you need for your legal drafting. So you can use it for your legal drafting as well, and you can use it for creating the draft reply, conducting research as well. You can create legal memo as well. You can create legal documents as well. You can upload the documents asking for the errors documents. Feedback also on legal writing, you can ask from the ChatGPT as well. Now, next comes is the professional email writing. You can use AI tools for the professional email writing as well. How you can use it for professional email writing? You can have any kind of situation. Let's suppose you have the situation of the professional email. You need to write it to the customer, mentioning that you have not received the payment of the fees for the services, and it's been already long time, 1 year. You have not received the fees, and if this is the last reminder, if payment not received, then we will stop the service. You have only one situation. You just need to provide the situation. Words it will fill automatically. Just copy it, and this is my prompt. I'm asking from the Google Bard as well, and I'll ask from the ChatGPT as well that I need to write professional email. You can mention that write professionally. I've written that write professional mail. So it is writing only professionally. If you will say that write threatened mail, it will write threatened mail as well. If you will say that write casual mail, it will write casual mail for you. So if you're writing the professional mail, then you need to be very sure that what words you are using in your emails. There should not be any harsh word. There should not be any word which your client does not like. So you need to use your words properly only. So this way you can use your words as well. So and you can create your professional emails as well. Any mail you have received, any situation mail you have received, you stuck into the situation. And for that situation, let's suppose you want the reply to be provided by these AI tools. You don't know how to answer for that mail or any kind of mail you have received from someone. You want also reply into the proper 2-3 pages, because generally when we reply for an email, we just reply in 1 line, 2 line, 3 line maximum. But other person has sent you 2 page mail, and in the in the revert you want also the 2 page revert. right? So you can just put that question that I received mail from this person, and that is the information that person is asking. Against this mail, I want to reply. So against, in this case, I asked first of all from the ChatGPT to create a mail for asking the professional fees. Then same person is using this mail to reply for that professional fees mail that we need 30% discount, and that too is also right professionally. So that person should not feel bad. So that person also used it professionally how to write it, and see this how good this email. If we will be writing this email, we will be completing it into just one paragraph that please provide us 30% discount. We have funds issue, and we are not able to make the payment to you right now. So therefore, please provide us this much discount, that much discount, and see this AI tools. This AI tool is providing you in just flick of the second whole mail, or that too is also two-page email, one-page email. You can mention that you need mail for 100 words, 200 words, 300 words, 400 words, whatever you want to do, that also you can do that. You can share the link of the judgment or Google judgments as well as the notifications to the Google Bot. You can provide these links which authority of advanced ruling passes the judgment. Authority of advanced ruling AAR provides a lot of judgments, and we want to have the summary of that judgment. We want to see the summary of that judgment. That also link, if you provide to the Google Bard, Google Bard will be able to summarize that judgment. Google Bard will be able to say that yes, this is the summary, and on the basis of that, you will be able to understand that what was mentioned in that whole advanced ruling. So I'm mentioning that from the above link, this thing, ChatGPT will not be able to do it, and Google right now is able to do it. I am not sure in future till what time they will be able to do it. Reason being, to do this thing, Google needs to access the third party website, which is the GST Council website. Currently, GST Council has providing the access to the Google to read their database or to do this thing and that thing. Might be in future they will stop, and there is a limitation for that as well, whether the some website is allowing or not. But those who are allowing it, see this issue is being clearly mentioned, whether the supply of service of renting out commercial premises to the GST registered person or carrying out their business activities taxable under GST. The applicant, Vinod Kumari Goyal, is the owner of a commercial premises which she lends rent out to the GST registered person for carrying out the business activity. The Karnataka AR has done something, ruling, implication of the ruling, each and everything is there. What else you need, sir? What else you can expect being into the practice and being finance professional? You will be able to do all these things. This last point is that PowerPoint presentations. You can ask these tools to create PowerPoint presentations as well for you. How they will do it? You just ask that you need to give presentation to this person and that person, and on this topic you want to do the presentation. We will create whole 10-page slide for you. Topics will be mentioned, and on the basis of that, you can create your slides. It will mention that there are 10 slides, 20 slides, one slide. What is the motive? What is the introduction? What is the thank you page? And then you can ask the color combination as well. That on slide one, what image to be used? On slide two, what image to be used? What color combination to be used? What else you need? What else you need? Let's suppose you can ask that I need to give the presentation for ChatGPT and AI tools in a company. Please create a PowerPoint presentation for me. I need to create. I need to give legal drafting with ChatGPT. I need to please give me create presentation on legal drafting ChatGPT. It is very much necessary what you are asking, how you are asking, what is your question, what is prompt. In future, these jobs are going to increase lot. Lot of new jobs will come for prompt engineers, and see this. See this. Same question, if you ask from the ChatGPT, it will also give you the slides, examples, conclusions. Create PowerPoint presentation. So these words are very much important. If you mention the PowerPoint, you are not mentioning the PowerPoint. It makes the difference because these are the robots, these are the AI tools, these are the chatbots. They read each and every word. If you use only presentation, answer will be different. If you use the PowerPoint presentation, answer will be different. See here, we being a professional, we need to share these presentations, we need to create this presentation, but we are reluctant to do that because we think that it takes a lot of time. Client is asking any quotations, and on the basis of that quotation, you need to provide that on the basis of the client's quotation, you need to give the reply that what amount you will charge, and to charge that amount, what you need to do, you just simply reply over the email that we will charge this much, we will charge that much. But instead of that, if you would have provided the PowerPoint presentation and shared it with the client, that whole thing you mention about you, about your firm, what you do, and then charges, it will look better, it will give the better impression, better results. So these are the things which you can use it using the AI tools. In this was the my deliberation. Any queries you have, so Banuji, please let me know queries you will be asking now or later on. Your voice is not coming, you are muted.
Yes, sir, there are few queries.
Just please, where can I see, or you will be asking?
Yes, sir, I'll be asking.
Okay.
There is a query from Sivaraman Chennai at the starting of the session. Please let us know how we can go about acquiring knowledge and practical training in using these technology solutions.
See, sir, these trainings you will get officially, like ICI is providing. Like I have given you the brief overview of all these things. So I think this question was not for the me, but for the ICI. But these trainings, like ICI is also keep on doing it on YouTube. Also, a lot of material is available. Thirdly, if you start using it, start using practically, because there is no amount you need to pay for using the AI tools. Like ChatGPT is free, Google Bard is free. Ask anything, whatever the solution you can ask. I'm just saying, whatever is your repetitive task, try to solve your repetitive task using the AI tools, and then this will be like your you will learn a lot of things. Like I also learned like this way only. I started asking from AI tools, whatever the repetitive task I used to get, I used to convert it into the automation mode. Next query, ma'am.
Okay. So there is one more question from Rohit from Mumbai.
Yes.
He's asking how to get the files of the examples shown during webinar. Will we get them over email?
See, files I will share with the support team. So I think they will be able to share, or I don't know if anybody is from the technical team is there, how they will share these files. I will share with the ICI, and I think you will get it from them.
So that's it.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing such a deep insight into the topic. Now, I would like to welcome CA Kiran Kumar Tamanna ji and CA Suyash Chaudhary ji, our eminent speakers for today. CA Kiran Kumar Tamanna, a global internal audit leader of the Coca-Cola Company. He is a senior finance, compliance, and governance professional with more than 22 years of experience in the area of internal audit and compliance, risk management, fraud investigation, data mining and analytics, and business process transformation. across different sectors such as FMCG, commercial lending, pharma, and telecom. And CA Suyash Chaudhary ji is the senior manager of audit at JC Penney. He has over 20 years of experience in internal audit and fraud investigation across multiple sectors such as retail, automobile, FMCG, and consumer durables. His past experience includes Ola Electric, Samsung Electronics, Coca Cola, and PwC. Now, I would like to request both the speakers to proceed with the session.
First of all, thank you so much, Ms. Bhanu, for introducing us briefly. And more than that, I think I would like to congratulate Mr. Deepak for an amazing presentation, perhaps very crisp, clear, and a lot of value add with all the participants where they can able to straight away use these real life cases in their examples in the day-to-day operations itself. But before we even begin, I think I would like to extend heartfelt special thanks to Mr. Nandaji, as well as Mr. Niharji and the Board of Digital Accounting and Assurance Board for inviting us to this session and be part of this fraternity and be able to speak on a topic which is most relevant today. At the same time, we could able to share our experiences, what we have gained in our respective organizations while adopting the automation as a part of our regular day-to-day lives to it. Before going on, I think perhaps I'll ask Suyash to actually kickstart from an introduction standpoint, and then we run this.
All right. I think introduction has already been done, Kiran. So yes, we can start with this presentation. Would you like to share your screen and talk about the agenda?
Yeah, let me get it. Just a second. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
I can see it.
It's audible for everyone? Okay, everybody can see it?
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, lovely. Once again, good evening, everybody, everyone on the call. And today, actually, me and Suyesh want to talk about embracing automation in audits. The reason we specifically called out as an audit is that since we've been into the audit profession for quite long, most of our efforts on automation has been in this space. But the example that we want to share our experiences or approaches to this automation, it's not limited just to audit itself. And so we're hoping that from this presentation, there is a value add coming to all the participants, be a part of audit or be a part of operations as well. And as Nandaji has said, or Niharji, or even Deepak has said, in terms of unlocking the potential of RPA is something we all know that this is today's world and going to be future's world as well. And for us to stay relevant in this space, there is no other option than to adopt it and move ahead. And the adoption is something perhaps require a lot of change management to go through, but this is the only way to be able to stay relevant, survive, and thrive. So what we want to do here is that we thought we will talk a little bit about introduction that has already happened, then we followed with, we want to give a perspective in terms of what is the need that we need to adopt automation and why now. A brief about that perspective about what is happening at an accelerated, what we call it as what is happening at a global transformation level across companies and organizations. How is the trends look like? Followed with want to talk about audit automation approach and considerations, which perhaps most likely we have used in our journey on this automation. And perhaps it's mostly applicable to any organization, be it firm or big corporates or small or medium corporates, with some tweaks as appropriate. We'll also talk about the areas for digitization automation in audits, what we have used it and perhaps helped us, and we can share about some live cases at the end of the session as well. We'll share some about the opportunities and challenges, followed with a reflection about what are the global tools and technologies available for the purpose of automation, that one can utilize it as they embark the journey on it. Benefit of automation we can talk about, and we also want to talk about regulatory compliances as we have been talking and seeing and living by every day, that globally the global transformation is leading to a lot of digitization and automation. And when that is happening, we also see that at the same time the regulation also has become quite hard, both on the context of corporates are adopting this from the purpose of transparency, data integrity, and reporting, but it also had a lot of obligations on part of auditors as well when it comes to providing assurance in that piece. So we'll talk some bit about on that topic as well. As I mentioned, we'll take some business case automation examples from what we have done in our organization. There are many examples, but for the purpose of this presentation, we took 3 examples here to just share what we have done. But maybe in the subsequent session, whenever that happens, happy to share some other areas as well. And we'll leave some time left for Q&A. With that kind of background, perhaps I'll roll it over to Suyesh.
Thank you, Kiran. So they'll talk about the accelerated global transformation first. I think this point is beyond, it's way past our discussion that, globally all the organizations are evolving and they are adopting, digital, adopting technology, adopting automation. And we would all agree that post COVID-19, every business model had been tested. The resiliency of the business has been tested, and the organizations are really looking at their structure, at their processes, trying to, get more frugal, ensure effectiveness and productivity, and then they are embracing technology. At the same time, if you look at some of these startups and a lot of, the existing organizations, they have been working to get more value instead of more volume from their product. And then they are using technology as an enabler to get the customer to spend more. So there has been a major thrust on the technology and automation in the organization. If you look at the business landscape and a lot of the activities that are happening, like the business are trying to acquire new businesses, and then there are mergers and acquisitions that are taking place just to get, certain businesses trying to get the backward integration done to enhance the supply chain. There are instances, take for example, in the US, there is inflation. I work at JG Finney, and then within the retail sector, the retail is sort of going on a downtrend. So the organization is saving money to invest more in technologies to pull back the customers to the stores and ask them to buy more. Things like these. And then with increasing compliance regulations, we talk about the DPDP Act, the Personal Data Protection Act, with acts like with regulatory reporting requirements like with ESG and climate reporting. The organization have been kind of forced to look at their data structure, and they have to enhance their digital infrastructure and that there is a good enough data management system in place. And financial reporting accuracy, this is a baseline expectation from us auditors. The organizations are implementing automated tools, and time and again the auditors are asked upon to validate the effectiveness of these new digital tools. Now, how does it impact the auditors? And the role of the auditors are evolving. If you look at the current scenario, the auditors are not looked at someone and as an examiner. They are considered as resources of the organization. It has evolved from a value protector to a value creator role. So time and again, they have been asked around to provide business insights. They are looked upon as compliance advisors, risk management experts, quality assurance experts. And with all what we have talked about transformation within the organization from a digital standpoint, it is imperative for the auditor to keep abreast with the organization. Kiran, take over.
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Suresh. Going on to building from where Suresh left in terms of what's happening, global phenomena, I think we all will agree on this call that this is what the current trend, and this is going to remain even for the coming decades to come through. And we thought just to share about some of the survey aspect that has recently been done and what it means, and to further stamp on what you mentioned about what the future state looks like for us. There is a survey was done by the World Economic Forum and across the global organizations, corporates to it. And more than 80% of corporates have said that, yes, they are doing an accelerated adoption of Internet of Things, cloud-based technology, AI, ML, and that's going to go up only by 2025. What it means as us as an organization or individual is that most organization, most clients for the firms you will start interacting are now going to be more digital. And hence it becomes imperative that are we ready? Do we have the capabilities to be able to serve them in the way they are currently being transformed? To build onto it, similar survey was done in terms of operations moving into automations to it. And more than 85% have responded as confirmed that they are working on an accelerated effort to automate end-to-end processes. This is not just about talking about regular accounting processes, but these automations are there in every part of the entire value chain, be it manufacturing automation, be it your financial automation, be it your marketing or services automation, customer management automation. This is what the current state and future look like when it's going to continue to evolve. And as a result of these two, obviously, there is a change of the workforce that's going to happen where the expectation of skill set that we all need to be able to stay relevant and respond to these needs is dynamically changing. And that is when I think perhaps each one of us has to find our ways to be able to adopt these newer technologies and ways to be able to do that. And there are many ways that we can do that, but start is needed here in some form. And I would like to go back what Mr. Deepak has just alluded, that there are a lot of resources available in the internet and outside to find and to get certifications done, but there are other few many free spaces or opportunities to be able to learn through YouTube, LinkedIn. There are many other sources available, and I would say start is needed in whatever form best work for you, and then build on and drive your passion in terms of what you have it to further upskill yourself on that space. Just as a reflection about what it means in RPA as an industry, I think one of the surveys reflect back that they say it's 2022 it was 3.2 billion, and they're anticipating by 2027 it's going to be 15.3 billion. In my view, perhaps this is still under, this is less. Perhaps it's going to be even more. So basically, the short story is that this is the buzzword, action word, and there is nothing that perhaps we could able to avoid. We just need to face it and be ready and embrace it. So for today's session, what we were planning to do is that we thought we will cover certain topics and we'll talk on those topics in terms of how we have gone into in our automation journey in our respective organizations. Most of it perhaps applies to most of your organizations in any size and structure that you hold it. And as we go down, perhaps if you have anybody have questions, do shoot us. The idea perhaps is that we'll cover what is the need, how do you go about it, and what all things you need to consider as you begin your journey of transformation. And
right. So the first step, that for any audit procedure or any audit activity, it's to align the audit's objective with the organization's objective. And the subset of it is you need to align your audit strategy with the organization strategy. And to give an example, if the organization is focusing more on .com sales, on the e-commerce sales, then the audit team should not be saying that we should be carrying out an audit of the business continuity plan. That is more important. This is a very vague example, but to set things straight, we need to be aligned to the organization to be more effective and to be able to deliver our objectives as an auditor. And from our experience, the major impediment to its success depends on the extent of audit strategy that is aligned after discussions with the key stakeholders. We need to understand each and every business process that contributes to the overall strategy, and then determine areas where automation can most effectively and efficiently contribute towards achieving those audit objectives. And I'm pretty sure that in our experience, we would have seen what a misalignment with the organization's objective can do. It does not make an audit function very effective. So
absolutely, Suresh. I think as a perspective in India, when we started a journey in our respective organization, I think our vision always was very clear to be a best-in-class audit organization worldwide. And with that vision, we wanted to make sure that how are we making sure our approaches are in line with the organization strategy. I'm not sure how many of you follow the Coca-Cola company as such, but in 2020, Coca-Cola company had an unprecedented change in the way their organization structure was changed. There was a business strategy change 20 with entire organization transforming into more digital and a network enabled enterprise. With that innovation in place, a lot of digitization has gone into, and we proactively as an organization think through that, yes, if organization moving that, are we ready? Do we have tools in place? Do we have capabilities in place to be able to respond with those newer digitized way of doing business? And that is when we work with our management, our stakeholders, to make sure that they support and align that this transformation is critical for us to be responsive and do our job more efficient and more optimal way, and really be able to reflect and take a seat with the management on board as a true business partners and add value to the organization.
Yeah, keeping the same, continuing what Kiran just mentioned, and we stressed upon stakeholder alignment. So who are the key stakeholders for us? Rightly, audit committee, the board, the senior management, risk management committee, controller group, external auditors, and legal perhaps for day-to-day activities or for our audit assignments. So audit function needs to develop very simple and clear automation and digitization charter that outlines the vision for automation, the goal, strategy, including implementation journey, roadmap, highlighting the priority areas and timelines. So the automation charter would highlight how the automation will contribute towards effectively achieving the organization's overall objectives. So, Kiran, you want to add about your portfolio's perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the stakeholder that you mentioned, Suresh, perhaps doesn't limit up to here as an organization, as an individual who are practicing CS and all. I think your stakeholders go beyond that. Your customers, your clients, all are your relevant stakeholders to be in, and making sure they are aligned in respective way that you want to transform, so that you can able to perform provide a client service, expect client service what they are aspiring to get from you.
Right.
Right.
Excuse me, Kiran sir.
Yeah.
So your volume is little low. Can be increased?
Let me see. Can I?
I think I can hear him loud and clear.
Am I audible now? Am I audible now?
Actually,
yes,
now it's better. Actually, participants are also asking for a higher volume.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me be a little louder here. Hopefully that comes out clear. Okay. Okay. Yeah. From a core perspective, I think what we've done as we embarked on this journey was to make sure that we have a very simple, clear vision with our stakeholders on how corporate audit would leverage the enterprise digitization efforts and capitalize the wealth of the data that we have it to generate valuable insights, provide greater assurance, and rewrite the rule book of traditional auditing techniques. This was something very simple vision we created, and it resonated well with our stakeholders that yes, this is a need of an hour, and perhaps that allows us to have a license to be able to move ahead and invest in the right capabilities and build this functionality within our team. Building on to that, I think the next piece perhaps was very integral for us to be successful in a large organization like ours, or even any size of an organization, is cross-functional collaboration. I think we all in this call would agree that not everybody is a subject matter expert. And to be able to have an automation provide you what the desired result, it is imperative to have a best understanding about how does the process operates, what does the process offers back, and what is the process objective. And when we started this one, despite being an audit function, we make sure that we collaborated with the key stakeholders, cross-functional stakeholders, to be able to come on board to make sure that what the product output would come is expected both for audit, but at the same time can be also be utilized with operations. And when we say cross-functional collaboration, I think we are talking about business process owners, where we specifically worked back with them to make sure that we understand the process objective, subject matter, specific inputs on the tools and applications in use, underlying risk attributes, and management significance within the process. Something needs to be factored as a part of an output of the automation. IT technology as a team is also a critical partner in this process. If you do not have a strong right infrastructure, and if they can't support you, your effort towards automation is half fulfilled or may not be successful. Similar risk management, I think most part of the automation, as we speak from a priority standpoint, is that you do want to invest on areas which matters the most to the organization, and you want to cater to the high risk, top priorities and top risk of the organization, and perhaps a risk management team aligning with them to make sure that your investments and priorities are in sync with it. Similarly, human resources. This is basically building capabilities, because it's not about just developing an RPA, but to that you need to have the right skills in place. And HR plays a vital role to make sure the right skill set is on board with us to have them and develop. If at all we're going in-house, or at least we know if you want to go outsource, we have that option also to exercise. But something, the choice needs to be made here from current and the future perspective of how an organization will look like. Procurement, and you can talk many other functions to it as per the need of the automation that any organization would like to go. But these all plays very vital role to make sure that it's an effective implementation of automation in any organization. Second, the next element, and I think this is something perhaps I feel most of you would agree with me, is about data accessibility and quality. As we say, garbage in and garbage out. The kind of a data gets in would only give you that kind of an output as well. And it is totally equally important that what are we getting into for the purpose of automation, be it RPA, be it ChatGPT, as Mr. Deepak has said. The way you ask question, that's what you get a response back. And it is important that are we able to have the right access to data and the right quality to gain. Historically, in our organization as large as Coca-Cola is, we always confronted with the challenge of having right data access to our teams and making sure it is structured and quality data that can be leveraged for that further analytics to it. Most common issues that we always face is about that data quality, as I just mentioned. I think the survey was performed to understand what kind of data quality available in most organizations, and it came out that 80% of them says that it's a mix of structured and unstructured data, largely unstructured data staying with them, and that become harder for anybody to adopt an RPA solution unless a lot of backend work is done for a standardization perspective. Volume of data with lack of right infrastructure to manage also create an impediment here. Multiple storages, like data integration from different sources to be able to process by analytical tool is also a big task if at all it's stored in multiple locations or geographies as widespread. Lack of skilled resources is also, as I just mentioned, perhaps doesn't make it is critical. If it doesn't exist, probably success is subject to it. And then perhaps your data governance and data security aspects also come along the way to make sure that you have the right data with integrity and the data integrity is maintained, that is reliable, that what goes into the output is also reliable to rely upon.
To very quickly add to what Kiran is saying, it is absolutely important to have the right set of data. As an auditor, you may also be interested in knowing whether your organization has good data governance standards. At times, what we have noticed in various organizations is that there are multiple sources of truth. There's not one source of truth. Same data is represented in multiple ways. And then there are disparities within the data. Like one legacy system would show you sales numbers at a different sales number than another report. So you may want to know the source of truth, and sanitizing it is extremely important. Now, some of the organizations have data lakes and data warehouses, and that kind of eases the automation. So you may want to check on that before you onboard this journey. So the next step would be automation prioritization. So it's basically about prioritizing what would you like to be, the first or the low hanging fruit that you would like to do, right? So the thing that comes at the top of my mind is value creation. Now, how is value created? The things that would provide the maximum value to your business, right? Maybe it could be a high risk item, or maybe it could be voluminous amount of data that the organization wants some insight on. So, that could help in improving productivity or reducing cost or enhancing quality of customer service. And this can be, in any domain of the auditing function. Like it could be audit planning, risk assessment, execution, closing and reporting. Then ease and speed of automation. You need to prioritize the tasks that are easily automatable. Routine, repetitive tasks that follow a certain rule or logic are ideal candidates for automation. And sometimes quick wins are need of the hour. As always, for any control, you need to do a cost benefit analysis. So when you're automating, you need to see whether the benefits are arriving out of that implementation or automation is greater than the cost of the automation. And then scalability and integration. So basically, you need solutions that are scalable to the entire organization. And even if the organization scales its volumes, there's a significant business jump, your solution should be also able to scale along with the organization. And obviously the tool should be integrated, like it should be able to interact with other applications. Yes, most definitely compliance and control. You need to ensure that your tool that you're developing adheres to the legal regulations and internal policy with all the security features implemented and so on. And feasibility of the technology. Okay, so one can prioritize automating areas for which the technology is readily available including the necessary competence versus newer tech investment. Even do you have to add any perspective from your experience?
Yeah, I think perhaps these all considerations we applied, and I can tell you that from our experience standpoint, I think uh, we were we had our own initial challenges, and perhaps we still have in some areas some challenges to be able to rightfully deploy or prioritize. But going with these principles, what just Suresh has mentioned, I think it sets a it's a great automation charter and make sure that you could go with the right implementation efforts to go on.
So there are the next slide. Like there are a lot of tools or technology available for automation, and we do have we are aware of certain of these based on our experience, but there are a host lot of these technologies. So you can Google these as well. So what you need to do is to identify what best fits your need. So, and take for example, if you're looking at data analysis automation, then there are tools like Microsoft Power BI, Tableau for visualization, Google Data Studio, and Looker. These can automate the process of gathering, analyzing, and visualizing data. They are primarily used in roles requiring extensive data interpretation. Then for RPA, RPA, as all of us are aware, it's like mimicking human behavior as it interacts. So these are repeatable tasks that can be performed. So there are tools like UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere that can automate mundane and repetitive tasks such as data entry, form filling, invoice processing, etc., etc. For artificial intelligence and machine learning, there are tools like Azure Machine Learning, IBM Watson, Google Cloud AI, AWS Machine Learning that offer a host of automation based on AI and ML. So these are typically used in applications where with a lot of predictive analytics is required. For workflow automation, you have tools like Asana, Trello, Airtable, and Zapier. These allow for automation of the digital workflow, managing tasks, project tracking, and collaboration. For IT process automation, there are tools like Microsoft System Centers, ServiceNow, Jira, and Automate that allow IT teams to automatically route issues to the right personnel, manage system backups, monitor networks, and so on and so forth. The accounting and finance automation, there are tools like QuickBooks, Zoho Book, Wave, FreshBooks that can automate a lot of financial tasks. And obviously, as Deepak had mentioned, using ChatGPT. So there are tasks that you can use for invoicing, expense tracking, financial reporting.
Yeah, I think just to add on to it, just to call out everybody is that not all automations are capital intensive. While we talk about all these tools that you said, but there are many tools that are available within in your own hands on a day-to-day basis that can be leveraged to make it with short, small automations, and then you can scale it up. Even currently, MS Office also have significant capabilities to automate a lot many things. It's just that one needs to be knowing about it and make sure you utilize this piece, in your day-to-day activities to it. Just as a call out. The other piece perhaps was to define a design automation objective. This topic something was came up when we were working on building our program, was that while we have identified what areas we wanted to do an automation, but we wanted to be very clear that what it means to us as an audit organization and how does it serve the current need and future. And this is where object definition is important, that sometimes we go on a short-term results of creating an automation now, which is a current need, but may not necessarily remain serves a purpose in the future. But more often the advice is that think through about that can these automations work now and future, or would it be an incremental automation that you take a version 1 now and you're scaling up to adding up as you go along for a final product that is a truly value-add and encompassing end-to-end process side for the organization as an audit or even for the corporate or the operation side. From a KO perspective, I think in our approach to automate certain business process analytics, we did move in our efforts toward utilized digitalization. I think what we kind of went ahead is that we were very clear on our vision that we want to use this automation which enable us to have end-to-end process visibility, which allows us to have a data mine and can see a start from a PO creation till the payment as a one singular line flow to say how this process works. And this And that kind of an approach we want to go because our objective was to able to offer organization that how does a control operate in end-to-end value chain and be able to tell which areas perhaps require more prioritization. It also allows us to make sure that we are able to respond back and rate at a process level at an individual task level within the sub process. And it got huge acceptance by the management when we moved to the process level of looking at it. It allowed us to have incremental amount of business insight, which perhaps we never had an access to in the past, nor be able to us to evaluate that and also share with the business to further add value to them. The next one is something core for that after all has been done, obviously this is where the things get into action, where you go on and build an RPA, where you want to make sure that you have you move ahead in terms of identifying resources, making sure you have defined whether it will be in-house capability or external outsource capabilities. And as you moved on, you're making sure that you have created a right RPA implementation structure in place in your organization, which is, you can say, RPA life cycle. As you build that RPA, I think what we kind of did was making sure that there is a user case documentation built with a clear expected outflow, which is supposed to be replicated in RPA generator. And as we did that, we make sure that that entire process remained in Hyper-K for about 1 and 2 weeks specifically and continuously evaluated by the users to make sure it gives us results. And we evaluated those results, further tweaking it in an outlier manner so that we are also able to tap on if there are any potential change in the business dynamics, will the RPA give us an output or not? And that kind of helped us to make sure that bot is responding the way we wanted it to. At least so far, we've been lucky on that space. And as you move along to the Hyper-K is done, that is when you start to formally implement in the organization and start using it. And as you implement to that, I think one of the pieces perhaps should be kept in back of mind is that more than us as a user, business is dynamic, as we just mentioned. And as business is dynamic, the processes are changing significantly and more faster than ever. And it is important that us as an organization constantly watch on what externally changing and reflect back that is my processes is doing the bot created is serving it need, or does it require tweaks to be done to be able to compensate? Otherwise, you will be following the same bot and the output coming in not necessarily reliable. And as built this one, I think one of the important elements to be able to be sustainable is about making sure we have capabilities, not just about people who can develop RPS, but also the teams who can utilize this RPS as an output, both of functioning as well as interpreting what output the RPS is throwing up. And significant amount of time that we have invested in training training our teams across the board, and multi-year approach that we adopted to make sure they're up there.
So to add to what Kiran is talking about, I think documentation of the entire RPA procedures is extremely important. Of the code also is very important in case if you encounter any problem for troubleshooting or for auditing purpose. It's extremely important. It's also important if we are developing a tool in-house, then we follow organizations. In fact, we need to ensure that the organization security standards and development and testing standards are being followed. And if we are using a vendor to develop a tool for us, then we also need to ensure that all the effective vendor management practices are in place, like due diligence, history of the vendor, timelines, SLA compliances, everything is taken care of. Continuous review and improvement. Yeah, I think this is one of the key aspects to once the product is ready and that's been implemented, is to keep reviewing. It's sort of a post-implementation review within your team to see that the product is, the tool is meeting your expectations. If there are any bugs, these are being treated in time. At the same time, we also need to keep pace with the changing business environment. There could be a situation where maybe business is letting go of one application and we are not aware. So it could render our tool completely ineffective. So we need to keep, move in tandem with business, keep in touch with them and to understand what changes could impact our existing tools. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And we need to be able to tweak or edit or overhaul or the automation tool in case if there's any change. So just keep pace with business.
And as we go through those considerations as you build up, I think this must be encapsulated well with a strong RPA governance procedure. As like we said, you can do n number of things to do that, but if it's not well intact with the right controls and procedures in place, the likelihood of it remaining effective and gives back what the value you're expecting perhaps would not be there. And this is where making sure that we have a strong RPA governance procedure established as you embark on this journey, which includes covering not many elements in terms of what kind of roles and responsibilities are defined of the teams involved in creating, managing, and utilize you as a user or creating, managing, or including change management piece. Making sure that there is effective controls in place that determines the that helps determine how does RPA is able to give us more accurate, complete, and timeliness of the data that is to be utilized, timeliness of data that to be utilized for audit procedures or otherwise for operations. Check if the RPA generated RPA tool is accurate because as you mentioned, there are multiple factors that RPA may does not necessarily perform in a live performance. And I can tell you from our own experience that despite having a box in place, there are times where we got stuck in our procedures where RPA didn't provide the results that what we wanted. And we need to go back and understand what has gone into that piece to it that it's not responding. Despite business has not changed, but there is a slight tweak because of user access. Somebody went in, made changes. We did not insulate it as a part of a learning, and it impacted the whole outcome to it. Configuration development is important. I think this is where what Suyesh mentioned in terms of making sure a strong documentation is maintained about which can tell the entire process design about what kind of configuration has been set up so that it can be validated by any audit agency later on to say this RPA is designed in a way to serve the end objective and it is appropriate and accurate. And that documenting plays a very vital role, both not just about maintaining that RPA, but also as an assurance service, as providing assurance on reliability of the RPA as well. Security and access control is also one of the other areas that must be very well clearly documented and has to and maintained to make sure that there are access control that are periodically reviewed. Make sure the user access management, the authentication process exists so that these RPAs are intact and data integrity is maintained. Check the presence of, you may also want to check back on the presence of monitoring and logging capabilities to identify unauthorized access to happen and verify if the RPA tool complies with organized security policy standards. This is one piece perhaps most organizations perhaps can miss out because while we're looking for open source technology to adopt RPAs, not necessarily it meets your company organization requirement to it and it start conflicting with it. And this is where I would say take an extra care to put that in place. Just moving on to those considerations for the purpose of automation, we just sort of bring it only from an audit standpoint to just give about what are areas we felt when we wanted to embark on this journey that perhaps RPAs or automation would help in to be more effective in a job that we're doing it. And we just laid out some areas. It is not all inclusive. There are many more things that can be done for respective organization. And it is a need-based assessment that each of the individual on this call or have to make an assessment what matters most in their organization. From a planning standpoint, you can use the risk assessment, data acquisition extractions, data analytics, data mining, report generation. In execution, population sampling extractions, inter-control testing, supporting documents download, fraud detection, continuous control monitoring, audit reporting, exception reporting, business insight from a closer standpoint. I think these all are very important areas, and in a day-to-day task, it takes huge amount of time, and it is always subject to the quality. And it takes long time to make sure that the quality that we want to give. Automation does help to make sure that we maintain that quality what is needed and reliability on it. As we speak on these three segments to it, I just try to share about where we are as an organization and our maturity of automation in these respective areas. The green one that you see, perhaps we see that we are very more mature, despite we are a global organization present in more than 200 countries and different vertical segments that we have as an organization. But collectively at a central data point level, we are able to do good and have an access to the data, able to extract well, report can generated, and we have automated well that has saved significant amount of time, quality, and efficiency for our audit team and organization as a whole. The amber one are the one which perhaps we are in a developing state because These are some aspects are very critical because there are nuances between the geographies, business segments, which can apply not just for even for individual clients or otherwise who comes from FMCG. One can come from bottling, one can come from mining. But it is important that wherever these segments are coming along, how are we making sure that my tool is responding the way the business sector is there? And with these pieces of what we have done in our spaces, I think what we do at the end of this session was to give some examples of live examples. What did we do? What tools we utilized? And what kind of benefits we received from a live case standpoint? Hopefully that helps many people to resonate what we've been talking in the last few minutes.
The opportunities and challenges. I think we've discussed, touched upon each of these in the previous slides or during the previous presentation. But what happens with opportunities? These are the kind of benefits that we get out of automation. It's data-driven testing, so that means it's more accurate. It increases productivity and reduces the time consumed for the auditing. Accuracy touched upon. The quality is also good. If the data is right, then the quality is right. And you'll see one of the challenges is data acquisition and the quality of data. Because if the data is not sanitized for our audit purpose, then it's of no use. Cost reduction, obviously, when the job of 2 or 3 persons can be carried out by automation, then there's definitely a cost reduction. Better utilization of resources also is one of the benefits, because if testing of some of the controls can be automated, then the audit resources can be used for other risk areas or ensuring greater coverage. On the challenges side, we mentioned about data acquisition. It is a challenge. As you mentioned, that there could be multiple sources, so you have to identify the right source of truth, the data. And the implementation cost, again, normally it's high if you were to buy, or kind of build another tool, but you have to do the cost benefit analysis before implementation. Skills is again, you've touched upon. If you do not have adequate skills to create or to run the tool, then there is no point, because you'll keep getting incorrect results or fail results that will fail. So it is imperative to have a education or a training program for the auditors to ensure that their skills are kept up to date. You can move on. So this is one of the slides I could get hold of that talks about what different areas and the different kinds of tool available in in the market. And this is a bit dated, so you can do a quick Google search to identify, or based on your need, you can identify the tools that are available. So I'm going to move on.
Yeah, this is basically a slide. We just pop it up here to make sure that we also talk about what are the new things happening around and where are the compliance regulations coming along, which is causing more burden on the organizations for a data access standpoint, sourcing standpoint, and reporting standpoint. And these are something I'm sure most of us are aware, which have got a lot of attention globally. In every country, regulations are really working on this to become more stringent, and there are a lot of stringent laws already in place from the reporting perspective. And we see these are areas, perhaps, potential areas of automation solutions within organizations or within firms as a service to the clients. Just to name it, as a global data privacy restrictions, we are aware of personal data protection, which is there in India, anti-bribery, anti-money laundering compliance, import-export trade sanctions, climate reporting, EPR, extended producer responsibility compliances, sustainability reporting compliance, competition law compliance. Because I try to bring this up because these are which matters. One of these topics matters the most to our organization, and we've been working on this space to have an automated solutions. The climate reporting has been the much harder part for us to be able to automate to it, but we are on the journey currently. But I believe this applies to each one of you in some form of fashion, because this is prevalent. Applies to most organizations, in fact. So as just to call it out here, where currently Coca-Cola as a company is working on this space. This is basically, we just thought to touch upon as we're talking about what are regulatory developments requiring enhanced audit responsibilities. And we all know that over a period of time, there is increased responsibility and regulations has come in on the roles of auditors. to make sure that they're bringing about strategic and methodological changes in auditory practices to be able to provide right assurances, not just the stakeholders within operation, but also externally all our government authorities where filings all that happens to it. Looking at the changes in Companies Act, specifically auditor responsibilities and class action suits, their auditor responsibility increasing for the comprehensiveness around mandate reporting into financial controls fraud, which I'm sure each one of you are pretty much aware of that. There's increased accountability of failure to disclosure of frauds committed by the office bearers, managements. NFRA has also had a wheeled disciplinary actions and powers over auditors, which may result in stringent penalties if it's not being complied with. Insolvency bankruptcy code do have stringent conditions and responsibility of the auditor for accurate diligence review to perform. These all cast incremental responsibility and makes definitely a strong case that automation is something that is non-negotiable for us to adopt and move ahead. We come into this stage of talking about business case or audit automation, and we thought let's talk about under each of these buckets is one automation that we have practically applied in an organization. And before even to get that brief video, I think I want to give a narrative story about the status where we as an organization were standing and what prompted us to take this automation. From a data extraction standpoint, I think one of our biggest challenges in our audit department has been data acquisition and availability for auditors. Our auditors used to go back to check several systems to get the output and try to consolidate either manual in Excel or different tools. But it was one of the hardest tasks which took significant amount of time, both in the planning as well as the execution activities. And hence we thought automation is the only way that we can able to leverage and downside of it, and team can really invest time on testing and seeing the value add from effectiveness of the review of transactions than working on the data side. So what we have done here is that we have WebLDE, which is a mirrored view of SAP data from where the data is extracted. So you will see that video will show that how we are extracting the data from SAP table to Alteryx as a tool that we utilized. And in the Alteryx, we also try to make sure that the nomenclature of the field in SAP, sometimes it's not necessarily understandable for layman. We try to rephrase or rename it such that it is readable and understandable for the people who are using as an output to it. Followed with that tool will load into the entire, pull the data into an SQL and automation form, SQL server, and through that SQL server, we utilize this and move this entire data set to the Power BI from a digital visualization standpoint, also performing some kind of analytics to be able to give an output to the auditors to be able to rely and work upon. Let me give I hope, let's see if it works. This is basically a mirror view of what I have called as WebDE, which is a mirrored view of SAP from where system is extracted. This is the Alteryx tool, which is actually extracting the report from SAP and moving into SQL Server. And the tools in the Alteryx itself flow, we make sure that those columns are renamed so that it's more readable and understandable. And Alteryx is basically a core tool that we as an organization use for the purpose of ETL activities. And when it moves to SQL Server, then in SQL, we can create a desired views and perform joins as needed before bringing the data into the Power BI. This is an important aspect of step to be done because Power BI is not friendly with multiple relationship joins. Some things to note when dealing with large data sets on Power BI server. And we call large as 100 million rows or more. Power BI is column optimized, not row. So less field in a table, the better it will done. So even if you create a Power BI output like this, but the more data size, it slows down its performance to it. But if you use Alteryx as a tool, it perhaps crystallize, sanitize data much better, and it gives you more faster output. By following these steps, we're able to load all general ledger details in the transaction level. We can quickly review things such as all invoices received on location basis, or look at the global dollar spent by the data types to it. This capability we never had because in the past it was more manually done. And through this piece of it, not just we're able to analyze the entire 100% data set to it, but we also know what's happening in the GL as well as how this business is transacting or accounting for those, posting for those transactions. I can tell you that in a planning space in the earlier times, we used to spend about a week or 2 weeks only on data extraction to target. with this piece, I think the time has come significantly down, not just about getting access to the data, but also have a greater business insights to be ready for an effective conversation or walkthroughs with the client. Not only that, as mentioned, these tasks and these automation has helped us to make sure that the quality of data and integrity is there and it is reliable, because manual, you all know that it is subject to errors. This is one of the things perhaps as a success that we always claim that our organization, and we've been highly beneficial, our teams and our others in our organization. And we also see that even business want to adopt the same tools in their own space to be able to maximize it. The other piece is about supporting documents. I think I don't know how much I know from an organization maturity standpoint. Not many organizations, or not all organizations, currently are keeping their or storing their data into a system. More likely, those documents are stored manually in a folder somewhere or offline, which is a challenge. But if there are visibility to the organization that data are stored in folders or in SAP systems or some tools in place, I think having an automation in place had a huge advantage to the procedures performed, be for the operations or even for the audit from a review standpoint. Our challenge, perhaps as an audit team, was about downloading transaction sitting in system. For every sample that pull at a global level, imagine if somebody has just 150 samples globally. For each sample, the documents to be downloaded, I think the time he used to spend for every sample was about 5 to 10 or even 20, depending on number of documents that exist. And even then, the manual efforts are subject to error, and perhaps completeness was questionable. And that is when we felt this is a big problem for us, and it's a perfect business case to be able to go and deploy a tool that perhaps alleviate all these problems. And as we moved and adopted a solution, automation solution, it allows us to make sure that a system goes into, and this is a very simple solution. We used Excel and macro as an enabler to be able to, through Excel macro, you can go into the system, pull what data is there, it creates a folder, puts back the data, and also give an output, whether it was successful output or there are any errors in place, so that you can do a follow-up on that. I'll give you a demo, perhaps help you a little bit what I'm talking about here. This is an Excel file, and we have a macro-enabled Excel file where we have defined specific fields, put the necessary parameters in these particular fields to it, and run extract data. This is something similar to what just Deepak mentioned in one of the examples earlier before. And as you say extract data, macro will take you into the SAP access, go to the specific doc type locations to it, go there and pick up wherever the attachments are being put in the system, and download and create a folders to it. It will tell you promptly it's been completed. It will also show it's been completed at that. And you can go back and check it whether the documents are there. It will tell you also whether the number of documents expected in the attachment in the system versus how many been downloaded. Yeah. For most part of a SOX audit, for any audit purpose, I think RPA plays a very important role to play. And that is where you wanted a screenshots to make sure that you have picked up the data what is required. And the spot also helped us to create a screenshots for a validation purpose in the future too. And this perhaps has given a significant leverage point and efficiency in our organization in the work that we do. You can imagine if somebody has taken 150 samples, I think the bot can help you to run it across at a 25 to 50 samples per side, and you run for 3 times, in maybe 7 to 8 minutes, 9 minutes, everything is done there. This is the last example I thought I can share. Perhaps this is more in terms of audit workbook documentation. This is, while it is in a bot utilized for audit workbook documentation, I believe most part, be it operations or an audit, I think the end result of documenting any activity is done is a part of an activity or process itself. And when there are repetitive tasks in place, which is more cumbersome and takes longer time, I think the automation is the best fit solution to be able to do that. And for us to make sure that we're able to pull all the SOX attributes from a testing standpoint, that's also take a long time consuming for the teams to be able to do from a high number of samples when come along. And hence we thought it's the best, another business case for us to be able to adopt solution that can able to make sure that system is enabling us to pull it up and pull all the relevant attributes of that particular control testing. The work is already filled up and takes away, alleviate the auditor to be able to fill that manually, which is subject to error. This is the kind of workbook that we have it, which have all the yellow color columns that talk about attributes of a particular control that auditor needs to test it. But these attributes, the relevant data of these attributes might be sitting in one singular report or a multiple report across the board, where when he has through the auditing testing, he will start evaluating and updating manually here. So with the use of this part, it has through the use of Alteryx, it has capability to go back and refer to those all. This is a workflow you could see in Alteryx that's been created, which guides you in terms of where does the data is currently residing for the specific sample that you're talking about. And Alteryx will pull the data from there and will get back and update all your worksheets with those with 100% accuracy. It gives you complete trail availability where anybody, whether it be a statutory auditor or external party, somebody wants to validate, they can anytime can check back and confirm, and that they can rely on the output that's been produced by the audit. As the Alteryx process for the respective data fields to it, it runs through, it shows that it process end to end, and it goes back to your workbook. It gives a prompt of finishing up the entire task, which was there. You go back to the Excel file, which is basically your test work was sitting across. And you could see. Some of the attributes would be an alter judgment, which has to be done manually by them, but those something which has to flow through from a particular data set per se. I think that perhaps auditors need not require to go back and manually pull it. And it also leaves you back the final output of the data from which is pulled, so that anybody anytime can validate whether the bot has done its job or not, or any inconsistencies are there as a trained standpoint. Yeah, those are the few examples I thought I would share. Maybe it's helpful for the team over here, but this is what the short story me and Suresh wanted to share in terms of our journey of automations to it. But happy if there are any questions that exist now or even later to it all. Banu ma'am, please tell me if you have any questions for us to be able to handle.
Yes, sir, there are a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, one of them is asking whether they can get PPT on the topic for audit automation.
Sure, yes.
Okay. And Meenakshi Salvan from Patiala is asking that as you were showing the Excel macros example, can you please clarify, do you think Power Query and macros do same work, or macros has advanced or completely different features?
Yeah, I will not say that I'm an expert in macros as a Power Query, but I think the Power Query has a more, I would say, capabilities on visualization as well, not just about the automation or analytics to it. Macros perhaps will have a repetitive task to it. Not necessarily macro would give you a visual standpoint, but Power Query will give you even that as an output, because we do use Power Query even for the purpose of audit reporting. So currently, if we look at the reporting piece as well, it is a digital dashboard which through Power Query, it's automatically prompts when audit is done and your report is up ready, including the overall ratings to it.
So that's all. That's no more questions. So, sir,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. And I express my deepest gratitude to both of you for sharing an ocean of knowledge with us and sparing your valuable time with us. My deep sense of thanks and appreciation goes to all the participants who were live with us and attended webinar with great enthusiasm and spirit. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Hope there's some value out of it. Yeah. Happy to collaborate and support. Yeah. Thank you, guys. You all have a good evening and good weekend.
Good evening. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.